Let us eat cake. The Tina Fey effect. In 2017, the aftermath of Charlottesville has brought up important questions about who should be speaking and who should be listening. In a 2012 article published in the Public Opinion Quarterly, a group of researchers shared the results of a study they had done in the aftermath of the 2008 U.S. presidential election. The researchers, based on panels with young voters, found that the impression of Sarah Palin, that Tina Fey had made famous on Saturday Night Live, "I can see Russia from my house," had changed the public's feeling about the actual vice presidential candidate. Fey's jokes, the researchers suggested, had proven comedy's power, especially in times of question and perhaps also in times of crisis, to shape people's sense of the world. The jokes had woven themselves into the workings of American democracy. The researchers called it the Fey Effect. On Thursday evening, the woman the effect was named for returned to Saturday Night Live, making a surprise appearance on the show's Weekend Update, Summer Edition. Wearing a University of Virginia sweatshirt, she had graduated from the school in 1992. Tina Fey talked about the hatred on display in the place she loved and the violence that had resulted from it. She talked about the American president's reticence, his baffling but also not entirely baffling reluctance to use his bully pulpit to unequivocally criticize the bigots who had marched on Charlottesville. She did the thing that has been so crucial and so frustratingly lacking in reflexivity among those in positions of power. She named the hate groups and she full-throatedly condemned them. And then, Tina Fey ate cake. She'd cake. Cake that worked as a visual metaphor for the sense of helplessness so many Americans are feeling right now, as hate groups feel validated and empowered, and as so many in the U.S. government give those groups ample reason for the feeling. Fey's cake, destroyed by the end of the segment, was frosted with an American flag. The bit is, in many ways, classic Fey. It's self-deprecating and uses food in particular as a tool of deprecation. It's at once slapstick and cerebral. It folds a sweeping message about the emotional state of the country into a joke about baked goods. It refers to white supremacists as chinless turds. But the bit is classic Fey in another way too. Its humor is also punctuated with moments of cringe-worthiness about race, in particular. At one point Fey makes a joke about a drag queen being a 6'4" black man. She yucks to Michael Chi about her placement on the set. She's sitting next to Colin Jost rather than Chi, she explains, because the angle highlights the better half of my face. This week, I think it's important to be clear about that. She ends the whole bit with an apparently offhanded joke about Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings, that hot light-skinned girl over by the butter churn. This was an echo of a line in her memoir Bossipants. To get some play in Charlottesville, Fey wrote of her time at UVA, "You had to be either a Martha Jefferson or a Sally Hemings." All that came in the context of a segment that is in one way channeling a sense of national despair, but that is in another toying with complacency as a response to evil's banality. Let us eat cake. It's just a joke, you might say. It's just a joke, Fey herself might say, as, indeed, she has said so many times before. After episodes of 30 Rock and Unbreakable, Kimmy Schmidt met with criticism for their glibness about race, after Fey and her team responded to the criticism by doubling down on the glibness. It's just a joke, however, doesn't account for the Fey effect, for comedy's power to shape the way people see the world. Tina Fey starts a grassroots movement with sheet caking. The Twitter moment about Fey's appearance summed it up. That, itself, was not serious. There is no movement here. The joke is about seeing a problem in the world and turning inward in response. It's about a kind of political introversion, an introversion that is, as astute critics have pointed out, its own kind of privilege.